I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Today, we are going to be talking about Aron Baynes, the player, the center, who just signed with the Toronto Raptors. Well, he is a very good player. He is a post player who can stretch out to the three-point line, and if you are a center who is currently trying to do that yourself, this is definitely the video for you. Let's get down and let's check out Aron Baynes. So in this first clip, we're going to be watching some of the perimeter game that Aron Baynes shows and demonstrated while playing for the Phoenix Suns. Of course, that was his team last year, and now he plays for my team. My favorite team, the Toronto Raptors. So let's go and check him out. So here he has a player who is closing out on him. He then does a quick shot fake, which then gets that defender to then go down on his heels, which is very important. You always want to do that. So now we have Aron Baynes who takes a quick one dribble move, big hard right foot step towards that screen. That makes that defender want to go in and around that screen, or at least try to fight through it somehow. And then he does a quick step back. Beautiful move, especially when you're 7 feet tall or around there. That is a small man, a guard move from a center. So, of course, what's he do? He takes a hard right step, one dribble, then he pushes off from that right leg, gets back as far as he can, creates all that space. What's he do? He then goes up for a shot. Let's analyze this shot because a lot of people say it looks ugly, but to me personally, it's effective. It works. He shoots 36% from three last season. He's doing pretty good. He takes like 6 threes a game. And of course, let's take a look at his shooting form really quickly. We see both knees are pointing towards the rim. His hips as well as his shoulders are square towards the rim. That means that, of course, he has a very straight or a very accurate base. The base is very important. From there, we see that his shoulders are over top of his knees that are not over top of his feet. That could be just from the fact of a step back, but from analyzing other footage, he tends to do this a lot. However, he has a straight base. He also has a 90-degree angle on his elbow, and when he brings that ball up into his set point, he doesn't move his elbow at all. He only moves his shoulder, which is important because you want to have the least amount of movement as possible so you can be more consistent. You don't want to have some long cold streaks. And then his set point is over top of his head, which is ugly to most people, but again, it's effective. That's what we're looking at. Is it effective? If you're shooting over 32%, your shot form is effective. Whatever. Either way. He then goes up for the shot, and he doesn't flick his wrist. It just sort of goes straight. But either way, it's effective. He shoots 30 plus 35%, and he gets a lot of shots. And of course, what we really want to analyze here is the shot, how he got it. And that was a very hard jab, step back, and of course, his shot. Something that he does very well is the ability for him to tap the ball in. He has very soft hands around the basket, and this is something that we see right here. He's a very tall individual who has very soft hands around the basket. And even though he has very soft hands around the basket, he knows how to attack the rim off ball. And if you're a center looking to get extra touches, or you're a center who is now trying to conform to a 5-out offense or a 4-out offense, and you're stuck out in the perimeter, this is definitely something that you need to do. This is his defender. Aldridge then drops down for a double team. He notices that. He cuts down the middle of the lane. There's nobody there. And of course, who's going to stop a 7-footer when he goes up to slam it, right? So if you're a center who's being forced into a 4-out or a 5-out offense and you're out on the perimeter, definitely take your advantages when you can. When your defender leaves you, you need to move off ball and definitely attack that rim. And if you can dunk it, my God, you better be slamming that thing down. Another thing that a lot of players overlook, and that is defense. I know we're checking out his offensive game, but this is defense that leads to offense. If you can block a shot or alter a shot, you need to leak out 100%. You need to get down court, because if your team's smart enough, they're going to look down for you. And again, if you've got soft hands like he does, you can just get anything you want around the rim. Like, check this out. Nice soft layup and one soft hands. This is another great example of how good he is. He's able to set that screen. He sets hard screens too. Like, you do not want to run into this guy. And from there, he's able to get that ball over top through multiple players, soft hands into the basket. If you are a center today, you want to stretch out to the three, but you also want to have soft hands around the basket. You want to be able to punish teams in the post. It's not like the old days where you just want to pound the ball down and slam it down like Shaq. You can still do that. I'm not saying don't. Zion's doing that, but we want to be able to shoot threes. We want to be able to have soft hands around the basket. And to have soft hands around the basket, one of the things there is to really know how to use that backboard and where each part of that backboard is, what it's going to do so that you can get that basket. You also want to have good footwork. So here he has an isolation against Simmons. Simmons is a guard, but he can mix it up with post players. And of course, he takes a couple of dribbles, 2 dribbles. You don't want to go any more than 2 dribbles. You start having defenders coming down on you. And of course, 1-2 baby hook. Oh yeah, so soft off the front of that rim and bounces in. These are moves that every post player needs to learn, especially Pascal Siakam, because he definitely got destroyed on the offensive side in the low post in the playoffs. You also want to have, in the low post, moves that do not consist of any dribbles or anything. You want to be able to just turn and shoot. So what he does here is he feels the defensive player with his shoulder. He knows that he's able to lock out that arm. And if you're able to feel the player with your shoulder and then lock their arm under yours, and how he did this was very simple. He was able to bring that elbow out, lock it in, and now he can turn. There's nothing that player can do. And he's able to make that shot. This is very high level, high skill. If you can learn how to do this as a low post player, or even as a guard who can go down into the low post and mix it up against really anybody, if you can lock arms like this and get that shot, you are going to be a very deadly player. Like, you could literally do that 4, 5, 6 times a game and get yourself a 10-point game every single day. So now you really want to know how to set screens as a center. This is going to be a big thing in the future. And of course, Aron Baynes is a very deadly player in the screen and roll. And this is something that the Raptors have really been missing. Marc Gasol could have done it a few times, and he did, but he wasn't a big screen and roll kind of guy who wanted to punish the guards. And Aron Baynes loves punishing guards who just want to try and run through him. So what you need to do here is get super wide with your feet. You want to be shoulders over knees, get your butt down just a bit, and of course step in. Make sure that you have both of your feet planted. If you do not, it's a foul. And then set that hard screen. Do not move. Take that turn. Do not move your feet. Do not lead that foot forward. It's going to be a foul on you. You need to lead with this foot forward. Again, if you lead with this foot, automatic foul. You lead with this foot, not an automatic foul. You can then just basically take that player out of the situation. You now have a 2-on-1 situation, and that's going to be a very easy, of course, if you can catch it, layup or dunk. I hope that this breakdown of Aron Baynes is able to help you become a better center. If it has, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.